Here's a quick tip. One really good exercise to do is to go into your favorite AI chatbot like ChatGPT or Claude. Get into in any of your contexts. So basically, it would be as if anybody else will be doing the same query, right? Because if you don't do this, then it takes what it knows about you into consideration. So you want to see what it would look like for someone else to do this. And then ask it a question of a potential client looking for your services. So, for example, I'm going to say, I'm looking for a QuickBooks expert in Miami. Can you recommend a couple? So right now at the moment, I consider myself a QuickBooks expert, quote unquote. I don't know if that's the exact same thing that people use to do the search, but I'm testing it, assuming that's what people would search. Okay, so here's two, Limos and Company and QuickBooks by Viviana Mendez. I don't show up here, which is a little bit of a challenge for me because I want to show up here, sort of a deeper brainstorming and have it explain back to me what I would have to do in order for me to show up in such a search. So I'm going to ask, the person I'm looking for is Hector Garcia, CPA. Could you explain to me how come he doesn't show up as the two top that would stand out? And let's see what it explains. Okay, and again, I'm in a temporary chat, so ChatGPT doesn't know a lot about me, and now it's gonna come back and tell me. Okay, so it tells me right here. Okay, so QuickBooks expert means QuickBooks specialization, et cetera, which is what I'm supposed to be anyway. The reason he didn't appear in the first two searching is my initial search lean towards businesses that surface in the local listing around Miami or Doral. Hector's online presence splits across his personal site. Here's the my website, everything else. He says he lives and works in Miami, and then it just kind of gives me a quick explanation. But I'm gonna ask it to now help me reverse engineer. What query you think would have shown Hector in the top two? Okay, so let's see what it tells me. And this is a good learning opportunity. Okay, so it says query emphasis QuickBooks specific credentials, not local businesses. Let's see. Let's see if I search top QuickBooks. I'm going to actually copy all these here to see if this is true. And then I'm going to kind of stop the temporary chat. I'll do brand new temporary chat, and then confirm if that would be true. And if it is true, then you want to go back and check, is this the type of wording or search wording that I think would make the most, or be like the type of stuff that people would search me for. So let's see. So this is actually not true either. Like I actually put top QuickBooks Pro Advisor Miami, and I don't show up in the top queries either. Okay. So let's do one more. I'm going to try all the different suggestions that it gave me. Let's see this one. Now this one says CPA in it. So this second one says CPA. So maybe that could make a differentiation, but it's Advanced Certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor Miami CPA. Nobody would search that in the right mind, I don't think anyway. But let's just try it to see what happens, and we'll see what happens with this one. Okay, there we go. So again, I'm in a temporary chat. This is not learning from it. So it does show up on this one, Hector Garcia, CPA, etc. Okay, so that's pretty good. This Limus person comes back several times, and this other QuickBooks by Viviana Mendez also comes back several times. So maybe I want to now study this Limos and Company and see why do they keep showing up in the top searches. So I'm going to ask that. Why do this Limos and Company keep showing up in the top searches? What is special about them, or how does the ChatGPT algorithm pick that up? Let's see what that says. And again, I no longer need to do marketing myself via Google or ChatGPT because of my YouTube channel. But if I were in a position where I do want to be found, and I know a lot of our customers are looking for, a potential accountant, a potential QuickBooks consultant, a potential tax preparer, that's what I would be thinking about doing. So let's see what this says. For example, their homepage literally says Miami Advanced Certified Pro Advisor. Okay, that's interesting. And we probably should look at their homepage. Let's see what their homepage is. Okay, so that's interesting. Their website is miamiquickbookscpa.com, which is a whole nother potential challenge here because you're not supposed to have the QuickBooks name in your domain name, but whatever. Let's say Intuit has a notice. They don't care. No big deal. It says a Miami QuickBooks CPA, right? So like they do have an interesting co-branding here, and maybe that's why they're winning. It's in the domain name. They have the word QuickBooks a couple of times. Maybe we can have ChatGPT ask query, how many times the QuickBooks name comes about it. They have a newsletter, but it's gated. So it's not a lot of content here. Services, these are pretty standard stuff like QuickBooks Review, tax services. So it doesn't feel to me that the website itself has anything fancy. I think maybe just like using the word QuickBooks over and over might help. And again, if you want to brand yourself like that, that would be like your choice. And I can ask, how often is the word QuickBooks throughout their website? Let's see what this says. Okay, there we go. So in the homepage, it's used 20 to 25 times. On the QuickBooks support page, 15 to 20 times. So obviously, maybe that is repeating the word over and over. Of course, if someone was looking for something else, so let's say, for example, and let me see where they're located, just so I can like specifically, so they're close to the Miami airport, okay? So I'm just going to now ask a different question that has nothing to do with QuickBooks, but also can I say in the Miami airport area to see if it shows up. I'm looking for a tax expert for multinational manufacturing companies close to the Miami airport. So I didn't use the word QuickBooks. I did use the specific location where they were at. So maybe, and again, I don't know what the results are going to be. We're going to see what shows up and what criteria does it use. And probably, me saying, international, corporate tax, whatever, is going to change and look for maybe larger firms, right? So maybe not look at this what seems like a smaller firm and look at more like a regional or a national firm. We'll see what comes out. Okay, so this is asking for something different. So Guillén Pujol. Okay, different person altogether. And then we have RMS, which that's a regional firm. Actually, it's a large firm. Kaufman Rossen, BDO, and that's because I asked those questions. So it's not only location specific. Like notice even like some of these are far away. And look, BDO has 3 stars, whatever that means. It does show up in the top, but this is just based on the particular search that you have. So maybe I can have it do a different level of analysis. I can say, let me say, I want you to analyze my website is hectorgarcia.com and tell me what I'm doing well for SEO and not doing so well. I'm trying to attract small businesses all over the country, not just Miami, but I want to make sure that I dominate Miami, that are growing and they're willing to pay a high ticket for a boutique level of service with a CPA to help them improve their workflows. Yes, QuickBooks, yes, Intuit Enterprise Suite, but I'm not necessarily married to a specific brand. I just want to help people that are looking for help and they're willing to pay for a total professional with experience in the subject matter. So can you analyze my website, see what I'm doing wrong and what I should be doing better so I can improve my website? Okay, let's see. You have significantly more authority than your website communicates. Okay, that's interesting. Your SEO problem is not that Google has no reason to trust you. Quite the opposite. Already have strong. Okay, whatever. Let's see what it says. Okay, so this is more like ranking me personally in authority. But let's look at the stuff that's very low. Okay, site architecture, internal linking, it's bad. Conversion architecture is bad. Miami local SEO is bad. National service SEO bad. So, okay, so this is kind of like the challenge that I'm having here. So it looks like it's telling me, look, you're good with content, you're good with personal trust and authority, and you look with QuickBooks topical authority, but you're not good at these things. So here's what it suggests me to do. Okay, so it goes through the plan, and of course, what you can do is you can just grab this, give it to your web designer, your brand people, and have it build that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it one step further. Let's assume I don't have a web person. And I'm just going to like use everything that's in here to actually build a website from scratch to see how ChatGPT visualizes a just much better website poised to do something like that. So I'm actually allowing this to go through all the thinking, so to speak. I'm actually going to copy and paste this whole thing and put it on a doc file. I'll share it in the description so you can actually see the entire conversation. I'll actually get that started now. Start the doc file here. and copy and paste that into it so you can see the analysis that it did. That way you're looking at the exact same thing that it did for me. Okay, so this thing is still going, so we're gonna let it finish. Perfect. So now I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it in this doc. Okay, that way I have your one place for this to land, because with temporary chats, one of the challenges you have is once you close it, you lose it. So we have the analysis here. Okay, so now I'm gonna say build a plan that I'm gonna give to an automated chatbot that builds websites to grab the entire content of my current website, all the strategies for rebranding, all the additional language, all the potential additional illustrations, maybe grab some of the direct link, the URL, some of the pictures on the website so we can reuse them, and build an entire plan so I can just copy and paste that into a new chat and have it build the whole website for me in one shot. Okay, so we'll send that in and then we'll kind of wait to see until we get that plan. Okay, so I started building the plan for me. Okay, so it starts building this thing called a canvas. So I can zoom in, copy or download once it's ready. So you got here, master website rebuild prompt for hectorgarcia.com. And here's, all the kind of bullet points here. I'm also going to copy and paste this into the same document. Okay, so this goes to the primary business objective and just writes out the plan. Again, I should probably look at this and edit this before doing this, if I were to do this with my real production website. That way I don't go back and have to go back and edit. But I'm making the assumption that ChatGPT was smart enough with the context I gave it to what I'm trying to achieve. And everything is kind of in here. There's some of the core positioning. The subtitle is Accounting Systems and Business Workflow Consultant, CPA-led technology, workflow automation, and systems consulting. Okay, so it's hitting all the right words. And the brand promise is not I sell QuickBooks, but I help growing businesses design accounting systems and workflows that actually work. Okay, that's great. And then we have some brand philosophy stuff. Again, I don't know where it's getting this from. This is a temporary chat, so this is not using any of our historical conversations. This is using the context I gave it and maybe some of the stuff that he learned about me from the other stuff that I have on the web. So you could grab the same exact plan, just change the words around, change what works for you, and then or copy and paste it in ChatGPT and say, this is Hector's website plan. Ask me some questions about how we can take the same model but make it more focused towards me. And then you tell ChatGPT, about your firm, about you, about your team, how you work. That's kind of the idea of sort of the actions you can take from after watching this video. Perfect. So this finished. So we got a full-blown plan here. Again, strongly recommend that you actually make the effort to read the plan, make changes, all that stuff. ChatGPT is very good at one shot to creating a bunch of stuff, but you may want to verify that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this plan, go into my doc file again, so you have access to it, paste the plan in there so I don't lose it, and essentially I'm done. I'm sort of done with this piece. Okay, I don't have to do anything else with this. I already copied everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a new chat, and this time it's not going to be a temporary chat. I'm going to use a feature called Sites. Okay, so this feature is called Sites, and what it does is, and I don't know which version of ChatGPT you have, but you should have this one called Sites. But what it does is it will build a whole website for you and even host it in using a ChatGPT server. So I'm going to go to Create Site, and I'm just going to paste the whole plan. Okay, so paste the whole plan in there, and literally in one shot, it should do everything for me. Now I can choose the model. So I'm just going to use the smartest model. I don't care how long it takes. I'm just going to wait. So I'll be patient. And then I'm going to go send prompt, and then literally just wait. Perfect. So this finished up doing this. It took 23 minutes. That's fine. 23 minutes is quick. I can click here to look at the website. Okay, it tells me here what it included. Usually you can preview it really quick here. So you kind of want to see what that looks like. It gives you a quick preview and it renders it for you. But better than it, I actually like seeing it on like its own individual page. So usually when you're done doing this, and just kind of so you get used to the whole sites thing, is you're going to click here, it says publish, and it'll do the full publishing. So after you hit publish, it's going to say your site is published and publicly accessible. You're going to get this long domain name that later on you're going to have to figure out how to do some sort of maybe your own domain name and have it forwarded. I don't know how to do that piece afterwards to use your own domain name, but at least we get a whole thing published. So I'm just going to open this in an incognito window just to kind of show you what it would look like if you log in yourself. So I put a long URL there, and there's my entire website that it thought. Like some things have errors, like for example, this book an assessment, which actually goes to my Calendly link, which I find it to be super neat that I actually figured that out. So I go into my website, the new website that it created for me, pretty awesome, okay? Maybe I can upload my own logo. It took the picture from my website. I'm gonna put this link in there so you can see it. I won't touch it anymore. So you can see exactly what I was able to build just in this like 20-minute video, this 20-minute exercise that we did. It's pretty amazing. Look, who do we help? I click on that. There's a landing page for this. Insights, there's a landing page for this. Okay, about Hector, there's a landing page for this. I think I took my picture, my old picture. Okay, I gotta get rid of that picture. I gotta delete that picture. That's 50 pounds ago. Then Miami, right? I talked about Miami, so I created a landing page for Miami. And then later I could probably just go back and have it analyze this kind of the same way we did before. Just create a brand new chat. I'll do a temporary chat. And then I can say something like, analyze my webpage for SEO and how effective it would be for people from Miami or anywhere in the country to see me as an expert in QuickBooks. I would send that and paste the domain name in there. Again, once you have your real website in there, then you would do that page. Right now, there's really nothing in there, so I have to actually give it the URL. So then it's going to do its own analysis and then give me the full analysis. And then what I'll do is when the analysis is done, I'll paste it into here so you could also see the written analysis. That way you get the full picture of what the whole workflow was, everything that we did here today. So anyway, I hope you found this useful and hope that you can use ChatGPT and otherwise to kind of analyze your website. Notice that, look, better score, everything seems a lot higher. So at least from ChatGPT's perspective, this is moving much, much closer to where I want to be. So like you use ChatGPT to make your website better. So ChatGPT understands the way ChatGPT wants to understand it, and you help the AI algorithm help clients find you better. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's probably the magic sauce there. So I would love to hear if you try this, if you put it to work, if it worked for you. Maybe in the comments put your new website so we can start judging it. And of course, get a real web designer and a real graphic designer to put the finishing touches to make it not look like AI built. And that would be sort of the ultimate icing on top. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.